Chelsea.
We have that.
Oh, sure, you're just waiting on that.
You're instructed not to use a knife.
Always cut away from yourself, right? Always go.
All right. First one is from Ford Construction. Ford Enterprise. Here's that they have everything, they have the references, insurance, they have 10 employees, 6 excavators, dump trucks, skid steers, and various support equipment, a range of commercial, to do a range of commercial and residential site work. Total proposed project cost is $67,400. This one is from Jack Shaw and Sons. Total proposed project cost is $186,500. What do you folks think about taking some time to check references and stuff? And,
I mean, are we comparing, that's, are we comparing apples to apples here?
well, I think we're gonna have to look at that.
Okay.
Make sure that both people understand the full scope of the project.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
can we take a week to study the bids and do?
I think that's an excellent idea.
check.
We're gonna be meeting at a special meeting next Wednesday night, so why don't we take some time and contact both people and make sure that everybody is not, there's such a discrepancy that, make sure that both people understand exactly what's gonna be done here.
How many people came to the pre-bid?
Excuse me?
How many people came to the pre-bid?
There's 3 contractors.
3 vendors,
Yeah.
yeah.
3 contractors, and evidently,
Labby.
Little Labby. Evidently Labby
Okay.
didn't bid.
Okay.
Okay. I would make a suggestion. I obviously have to recuse myself, but maybe the board would entertain a special meeting I will not attend. If you wanted to meet early or something, or some off night, like a public meeting, but I would, you know, I will completely say that.
Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't, if we meet next Wednesday night, I don't see why we couldn't meet with the contractors next Wednesday to make sure everybody's on the same,
Yeah.
Okay.
page.
Kim, did you get any questions? Any calls or whatever?
I didn't get any calls either from any contractors other than Shaw Construction reference the high school. Just making that known.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Let's
we'll do that.
Okay. So we will watch the bids next week tonight. In the meantime, we'll contact, are you from the Ford company? Is anybody here from the Ford company? Okay. We'll contact them and see if they can't send the representatives down. We'll walk through and make sure they understand exactly what we want done.
But they were here, they were one of the ones here for the,
The gentleman that was here, he said that he didn't really understand why he had been sent down. He was a dump truck driver for I'm not
Okay.
There's a lot of landscaping to be done out here and everything. I want to make sure that they're aware of all of that.
Yep. Okay.
I was expecting the bids to be much higher than what they proposed.
Yeah.
Is that something that you want to schedule for them to come down next Wednesday at 3? Because I would like, we're
When are we
supposed to be
doing
doing the
commitment?
commitment next week as well.
Okay, what time did you want to do the commitment?
I was hoping for 4. I mean, I was going to have a discussion about it because Bill Brewer cannot be here.
All right, why don't you make it for 3?
3 o'clock?
They can be here at 3. I think an
Okay.
hour would give us enough time to walk through, don't you?
Okay.
Yep.
If we did it on an off day, would Bill be able to come? Like we did it
Well, then you
Tuesday or
have to,
Thursday or something,
Yeah.
would he be able to
you
come?
have to sign a commitment. It'd be a meeting. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if
Well, there's not,
we do we need Bill? It's up to you guys.
Has he answered that? Is he waiting on that?
I
Does
said
he
I would
think he-
speak with the select board and find out what you all wanted to do before I reached back out to him. So it's up to you.
will Juanita be here?
Juanita will be here.
You folks comfortable doing it without the auditor?
Well, my personal opinion, I mean, generally years ago, we used to do the audit and then do the commitment. In the last few years, we understand scheduling problems, we do the commitment, then do the audit. So I feel pretty confident, and Kim, the treasurer, that, everything we've done is pretty accurate. So is there a way to potentially, have a conversation earlier in the day with, whether it's you or Juanita, talk to, or not?
Well, even if we can do the worksheets and send them over to him,
Yeah,
then he can review
yeah.
them and say, nope,
Yeah.
that looks fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable with that.
If we can do that, I think that would be
That's
great.
it.
I'd be happy doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling as we kind of all discussed after, maybe a little less of surplus. We got our ratio, we got all these situations,
Right.
it looks like an increase is imminent
Yeah.
in the mill rate, but.
Let's face it, everything that we spend money for has gone up.
That's okay.
The school has
Yes.
gone up, the county's gone up, everything's gone up.
And we've been flat for 3 years,
We know
and we're in the reval process.
At some point, it's, okay, so we'll take care of there's not enough information in either of these packets for us to just deal with that.
Sounds good.
All right, so we'll do that next Wednesday. We'll move on to the regular meeting. I'm gonna start the meeting with a moment of silence for Jerry Edgley. She was the Boston Post cane holder, the oldest citizen of the town, and she recently passed away. So I'd like to have a moment of silence. for her. Okay, moving on. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting of 8/7/2024.
I move that the minutes be approved as written.
Second?
Any deletions, corrections? Seeing none, those in favor? Selectmen's comments, Tom.
Couple things. The Climate Resilience Committee has had a couple of meetings so far, and they have scheduled a community workshop, just like the one we had with Kelt and GoPIF in, what was it, 23, I guess it was? Or 22 or 23,
22.
whatever. Anyway, so we have scheduled that for September 23rd.
6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock. The other thing, the fridge magnet mailing project,
Let me interrupt you just a second. Where and when?
6 o'clock on the 23rd here. And so we'll do some outreach through Facebook and the website and whatever, just to make sure people know about it to come.
Okay.
The fridge magnet project, we're gonna hopefully get that mailed out during the month of September. I've got a rough of what the magnet itself is gonna look like, and we're gonna insert a couple of other things. But if there's anything else, we've talked on and off over the past few months about anything else we want to include in this mailing, just sort of take advantage of the postage. So if there's anything, Kim, that you can think of, or anybody, like maybe the thing about the yeah, that
About the what?
and the property tax relief thing.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
Any, and
Okay.
anything else, well, I mean, whatever, anything else,
What
let
was
me
the
know.
first thing you said?
The raise
Does-
that.
Oh, yes,
Second,
yeah. Maybe we could put both of those on one sheet of paper. Is that the actual size?
That's
it's not the whole page, it's,
No, but I mean, it's like
the
those.
magnet itself is like 4 by, what is it? 4 by 6. And the last thing is, Allison and I and Evan attended the Maine Connectivity Authority Board meeting on August 9th to be informed that the consolidated grant was awarded. So it was a almost $7 million grant consolidated to do all the rest of the Lincoln County towns that don't have anything, plus Woolwich. So, and I know we have an agenda item to talk about what we need to do about that later, but that was great news. Finally, that's.
Oh, and Janine was also there from Woolwich.
Janine was there too. Yeah. So yeah, so we'll talk about that later in the agenda, but just thought I'd make a record of that. That's it.
I was just gonna say basically what I told you guys a little earlier about being in touch with the county commissioner about the process for the budget, the county bill being due all at one time, and we'll follow up with legislative law library about the history of that, because I think it is a statute, and see, start those conversations. That's it.
Nothing.
I don't have a whole lot. The tunnel project got done down there.
Oh, yeah, it
And,
looked good, I walked
Yeah, I
down
went down
there.
and inspected. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I
seen
did.
it. And,
I did.
There was a couple things he came back and did, but I really think that he did a great job. And
No, I just thought, I saw it a couple days ago.
Yeah, and he donated, it looked like he donated quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
to work there, but anyway, so that seems pretty good.
The trees that in front of the fence are still there, though, that you had wanted
What's
to.
that?
The trees that are in front of the chain link fence up top.
It looks like you got most of them on the wall side. There's some on the back side,
I
right?
thought there were still three on the,
Because we pointed out a couple above the tunnel. Is that what you're?
The ones between the wall and the fence?
yeah,
Yeah, and then the fence goes over the top of the
Yeah.
tunnel, right?
yeah,
I thought you got most of it, but okay.
okay, and I made a point of,
I mean, he definitely did an awful lot of work.
Where does that property start at? Can we cut the ones on the outside of the fence?
Oh, I think definitely it's town property on the outside of that,
Yeah.
right adjacent. It's just that we didn't get how much we could do right now.
right,
It's a major improvement.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And then, kudos to the neighbor who cut down all that stuff in front of the signs
Yeah.
and right on the edge of the
Started
road.
the whole ball rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be attending Jerry's service. It's 2:00 at the meeting house over here on Saturday. I don't know if anybody-
I'll be out of town.
Okay, I have nothing for you. Public comment. Anybody from the public want to talk about anything? If it's on the agenda, please wait for it to come up. Otherwise, okay. Town administrator's report. Kim.
Let's see, I received a notification that, the Donny membership has, expired, and that is the state surplus. So if anybody wants to read up on that and be a Donny, I know you just became one.
Yeah.
Do you know when yours expired?
It expired earlier this year.
Okay, yeah, ours expired in March.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the application, so if you, I'm gonna pass it around, if anybody who wants to be a Donny so they can go buy stuff at the surplus, then, they just need to put their information, I have 2 pages of it. What you wanna, You on there?
I think
So-
we should all sign up.
yep, so I'll just start passing that around, whatever you wanna do. And we talked about the commitment. Bill Brewer isn't gonna be here. They have submitted fraud statements for Allison and for you, David.
I
in your
saw
mailboxes.
How come I get them every
I didn't think you
year?
got one last year.
Got one
I
last
thought
year, got one the year
Tommy
before.
got one
Yeah,
last
he and I both got
You
one
did?
last year, and I got one
Okay.
the year before.
I get one
I guess
every
I'm
year
the
too,
most-
Allison.
I guess I'm
I
the-
get one every year.
I think we are the most trustworthy of the crowd. I think.
Well, I don't know if I really, I don't know if I really. The treasurer I get.
So yeah, so as soon as you can return those, give them
Yep.
to me and I can send them out.
Okay.
And this morning, Northern Signs came and replaced the tile. He came back and said that there were 2 tiles out.
Okay.
So he put the one that's not really working in the corner, and we're gonna have to order another tile.
He wants you to do it, go, not through them, he wants you to order outside.
Yes, and so I had a
This is for the
discussion with
electric
him,
sign,
and I
LED sign?
said, you know, is this typical? Because in the last 3 years, probably 4 years, we've replaced the motherboard, and this is our 3rd tile. And he said, we've owned the sign for 7 years, and he said normally it wouldn't even need to be changed after 10 years. So I want to see if we can look into, I see a lot of those other signs that are a little bit more digital. I don't know if you've ever seen the town signs. They're way cooler, way nicer. We have so many problems with this sign, and I don't know, I know we spent money on it, but I would like to kind of reach out and see what other,
So we can fit in that
Check with the
space.
town of Elizabeth. have-
Do they? I reached out to the town
they have
today.
a great sign outside.
Yeah.
The thing is, we're kind of,
Much easier to read,
It is.
spelled across it.
In my town, they have a digital one, and you can see it way across the road, and it's
so does
just.
that mean, so we should make it bigger, is that what?
No, it's the
Ours
same
is-
sign,
ours
it's
is
just
very
more vibrant.
directional.
Yeah.
Ours is very directional.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
not-
see it from the
You
side.
can't see it from the side.
Yeah, and
Okay.
half the time, it's just, The one in Manchester, like for dog licenses, they have a dog on there, and, it's like an ad. It's
But if we don't have a
really
big
nice.
space, I mean, you think
Nope,
it,
same size,
Yeah.
couldn't be any different.
okay.
Yeah, you could
And I'll be
probably.
squinting, looking for the dog, and then I'll run off the road,
I
and,
would think in that area you could put it on there. And that is all I have. I do not have much today.
Road Commission, Jack.
Yeah, we've started mowing the roads, side. We can put an improvement on Shop Point Road, trying a new method to see if we can get about the spring problems. Everything else is pretty good, normal maintenance going on, cutting bushes and patching. Any complaints or problems? Jim?
I was mentioning to Jason, I've been getting quite a few calls about the old Stage Road Bridge, people interested in actually finishing everything. I suggested, Jason, maybe some morning you and I and he could grab some hot apps, go down and just talk to those guys and say, how much longer is this gonna take?
They probably won't know, you probably have to call me myself. But what is that called?
Yeah, but if you wanna do a visit,
Yeah.
we're up for whatever, yep.
Yes.
With
I
who?
just thought, get down and let them know that we're interested.
Range
We-
road.
if anything we can do to kind of.
For what?
hustle it
No,
along.
Stage
They've been tied up at Maine Yankee on that bridge for a bit. On the way to Maine Yankee. And they just paid it last week. Yeah.
Good.
So other than that, everything's pretty good. We mowed the landfill, as you know. And we're pretty good.
Any questions for Jack? Want to move on?
no, I was just Jack and I talked, because I got a call from one person who was concerned about what DOT was doing, but Jack took a look at it, and I went out, wasn't sure what I was looking at, but it all looked pretty good, I thought, right? And that's sort of the tell me again what that is, that's sort of like getting ready, ditching it, and
Yeah.
filling it up with rocks, and
So
then,
preparing the signs
Yeah.
for the future pavement next year.
okay.
But I didn't see any problem with it.
I did, the things that
I didn't see anything they've done any harm to anything.
No. I'd heard a complaint about some mailboxes, but I didn't see any mailboxes down.
It's not 4,
Really? They must have put them back up then.
maybe, but there was 4 that were either front folded over or pushed down, the rock wall that I saw.
I saw the rock wall, but
I wasn't very impressed with how much debris they left in the roadway.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of debris. in the
Okay.
road. A lot of debris.
I must have gone by the next day, because I think they put, and also, I'm surprised with 4 mailboxes down, we didn't get more calls. I mean, this was,
About that, and debris in the road?
Yeah, so they when they went south, the sweeper was behind them. When they went north, no sweeper. No sweeper. So with everything they did, they just used the blade of the grader, pushed it back. But that last big clumps of crap all over the
oh,
place.
yeah. And
It was interesting to see 3 graders, huh?
It's nice to see that they actually found the road.
See what happens
that's
next year, right?
I think I real Route 1 though.
Good job, it's Mike.
So, thanks. Since August 1st, issued 4 plumbing permits, 2 were for septics, I believe 1 for here. 6 building permits, 3 were principal structures, new homes, 2 on Barley Neck and 1 on Chops Cross, a residential solar, a garage, and then a permit for upgrades to the wireless tower at Taste of Maine. Junkyard update, I checked it last Friday. You can see 3 vehicles on it, and plus the occupant's vehicle, 2 records and a camper. Spoke with the landowner again, he's been working with me. Said he sold the campers, just waiting for it to be picked up. So I think he's made a concerted effort to clean it up and.
This is the one over there, the mountain road.
Yeah.
I was up, you were too, we were up that way last night, I think it looks noticeable.
It caught my attention, yeah.
Last day or 2?
I haven't been up there in the last 2 days, but a week ago.
No, it was literally last night, I made note of it, like it was considerably.
Yeah, so I'll keep my eyes on him. He's been responsive, so that's good. The wedding barn in Memory Lane, as you may or may not know, that planning board had an informational meeting with the applicant at the last meeting. And then that led to a conversation with the planning board and our town attorney, which led to me writing a letter to the applicant and basically said that they were asking for guidance regarding a proposed venue. I'm paraphrasing. Recently appeared before the planning board for pre-app and proposal that would be a commercial use that's not permissible in the rural district and not otherwise permissible as a home occupation or business conducted quote unquote from the home. But as you know, the planning board nor I have authority to issue advisory decisions, so that was more informational. If they want to get a formal decision, they would need to send in they'll need to submit a formal application to the planning board to get a formal decision. And the last sentence says, I must inform you that if you were to proceed to build and rent the barn to individuals for purpose of hosting events not in keeping with residential use, this would be treated as a violation of the town ordinances. I talked to one of the applicants before I sent the letter. I don't know what their plan is. I didn't get the feeling that they're gonna apply. I don't know what.
oh, really? Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the steps would be, so I could assume, but we'll see what comes next.
But there's nothing to act on.
There is no application. We have not received a formal application at all.
So right now, it's just a concept that you're
Correct.
thinking about.
It's right.
It's off the Bolt Stage Road, like, down from where else, the football.
It's very narrow road, it's like 12-foot wide road, 1,000 feet long.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. It was all good. And then lastly, I'm just meeting with a couple, a resident on Sassanova Road dealing with some, might be civil matters between landowners, but I haven't done any digging yet, so. I'll dig. I won't get buried.
That will be ongoing.
Well, that's the second thing I've had, and probably one of the smallest roads in the world, so.
Yeah, I know, it's a,
Yeah.
wait, is that?
I think it's a situation, then there's some state property and.
Right.
Problems adjacent to the road, is that where?
Well, that's the first one. This one's on the other, where D Street meets Sassanoa and
Oh,
some property line stuff.
If you get too far involved, Allison and I.
Yeah,
spent a
we can come in,
considerable amount of
yeah,
time
yeah.
doing research years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my
You just,
chatting with
Yeah.
them.
a bit of
Well, I'm sure
advice,
I'll be chatting.
well, a bit of advice is where you're new to the position,
Right.
sometimes the information is distorted. So we're willing to help.
I've got a ton of
you.
information coming one way, so I'll have to still try to absorb it.
You gotta wait, you've got a tsunami coming.
I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, if we can help at all,
Yeah.
let us know.
Definitely appreciate it.
Most of the time, when it's a dispute between two landowners, the best thing to advise is a land survey.
Right.
I think
And it's
that's
civil,
good.
I don't think,
We're aware, you're talking about the right of way, the things that may or may not exist, going back to 1957 BC or whatever. Yeah, we have got, we've spent, my father has spent hours, we've spent countless hours researching and doing things.
Is this,
I'm thinking maybe close to it, yeah. I don't know, but I'm gathering information. Anyway, if you need something, let us know.
we'll do, appreciate that. That's it, thanks. If you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions, Mike, before I move on? Okay. EMS director, Danny.
So, EMS is, we've responded to 17 calls so far in August, so a little bit less frantic than last month, but we've seen 17 patients. 11 were transported. I accidentally wrote 6 on them. But 11 were transported. We called for MC1 once, Wiscasset once, and Life Flight once for the last week's accident. We also provided mutual aid to Dresden for Wiscasset for 1 call. Training events, in light of the accident, the fatal accident on Thursday, and it being the first for some of our providers, the fire department and EMS held a debrief on Monday so people could talk about it and talk through things and go over the incident. So our crew did great, and there were people that are very fast and did what they could. So we're also training tomorrow night. We're hosting a substance use disorder naloxone options program training or information session from the state. They're sending ambassadors out from Maine EMS to go over these about the federal protocols we have and stuff. So that will be tomorrow night here at 7. What else? We were supposed to help with the block party tonight at school, but it was moved to tomorrow. So we're going to be, we'll have a rescue there and give tours of it. And we're also from 5 to 6:45 because we have to come for the training. They asked us to volunteer to help watch the bouncy castle house thing and make sure people don't bounce too high. But
Including your guys.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
they've already asked me to go on it too. So we'll be doing that tomorrow as well. Just trying to get out in the community a little more and let people see us and interact with us. And that's my whole report.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? No? We'll move on. Thank you, Sean.
13 calls so far this month. 7 of those have been accidents. A lot of accidents. I've been having an accident almost every other day lately. One of those obviously was the significant fatal accident last Thursday.
So are most of the accidents on Route 1, or are they scattered all over town?
Yeah, Route 1 between here, well, I shouldn't say, Route 1, yeah. It's either down in town or up in through here. Now that the road is opened up pretty well for the construction, things are flowing well, so knock on wood, we haven't had anything crazy since that, but you can't stop the IW traffic. So.
There was one on the Road, I think.
Yeah, most of them are Route 1, but.
Did you guys respond to the fatality in Arousik?
No.
No.
No, there was no extrication, so we didn't respond to that. But, yeah, as Danny said, I contacted, so we don't have a chaplain in Woolwich, department chaplain. And I contacted Chaplain Mark Rockwood from Brunswick PD, and he was very, very helpful. He came over and he brought, actually our chaplain from the Sheriff's Office and dispatch from Bath, and they it's called a CISM team, which is a critical incident, basically a debrief team. They came over, and we had 28 people here Monday night for that. And that was, as Danny said, it was a first for probably a handful of folks. And it was, it's never an easy thing to deal with. So I was very happy with that. The sheriff stopped by, and we had some good conversation about that. And I think it helped a lot of folks. They actually gave us, and I think you guys want to see it, a critical incident stress information sheet. We've kind of posted on the station with just different tips and ideas for them on you know, releasing stress and things of that nature. So it was very helpful, and I've already got some messages thanking me for putting that together. So that was beneficial. The other significant incident we had throughout the month was a propane leak. Propane leak that was near explosive levels. It was a pretty touchy situation for the first 20 minutes or so. It was the same type of situation when Farmington blew up off the Mossweg Road. So,
Residential.
Yeah, residential. Folks had been gone for over a week, and it leaked all week. Propane leaked all week.
Into the ground, like it did?
It filled the house. It filled the house, filled the basement. Luckily, as soon as they got in the house, they recognized. Luckily, it didn't do anything when they went in the house and opened the door up, but they got out, and we were probably about 2.5 hours getting it out, airing it out. CMP responded, killed power to the house, so we didn't risk any sparks. It's quite a situation, but
Wow.
so very thankful for the equipment we have on the trucks down there. It brought to my attention that we need to order another, it's called a sniffer tool. It's for propane specifically. It has a long wand on it, and it's excellent for locating leaks. We have 2 of them, but I need another one. We need another one that has digital numbers on it, readouts on it. It's a lot more helpful.
So does it identify the source?
Yeah, well, it identifies how many parts per million you have.
Oh, okay.
For gas.
Okay.
We had over 10,000 parts per million at that residence, so you don't want anything over 100 really.
What was it, do you know what the leak sort, do you know,
Kitchen stove.
a knob or just?
They think that one of the relatives had swung by to check on the house and walking through, they knocked against the stove, didn't know it, and it was just cracked enough, and it leaked all week. I think it was 4 or 5 days, and it was vacant, so, and the house was sealed up tight while they were gone. But anyway, we're lucky with that. The climate resilient, I wanted to mention that. I've been reviewing that. I'm going to reply, shoot off an email probably the next day or 2 for that, and I'll be there for that meeting.
Right, yeah, he's gonna, David wanted to send in the application
Okay.
like Monday or this
Okay.
coming Monday, so we get it done for the end of the week. That'd be great.
Sure. AFG grant applications just opened up, I think, last week, which is the big FEMA grant for fire departments and emergency responders. So I'm looking at applying for I'd like to try to rope it all into one, the compressor, the cascade, and the fill station downstairs. Rope that all into one. That's probably $125,000 application for that stuff. So anyway, we're just first stages of that. ISO, the insurance, I don't know what the abbreviated for. Insurance Services Office stopped by today. That's the company that I told you had been contacted. They're legit. That's the company that all insurance companies for homeowners insurance and business insurance base their numbers off of. They haven't been here since 2016. So he stopped by, gave me a lot of information. I printed off everything that I'm required to fill out. He's given me 3 or 4 weeks to do it. It's all kinds of numbers and just town information, department information, capabilities. Doesn't cost us anything. He does everything. He reaches out to the water districts and gets numbers from them. They'll come do a site visit for the hydrants and any big businesses in town. So it was due. He sent me our information from 2016. We are 1.75 points away from dropping our whole town classification another number, or another point, which is there's 1 to 10, 1 being excellent, 10 being poor. We were 5. I'd like to get that down to 4.
Does that affect our rates then?
Yeah, that'll
okay.
drop people's insurance
Okay.
in town. So I don't see why we can't do that.
Is that things like more hydrants and?
Well, that's going to benefit us.
Yeah.
We've got the new engine that's downstairs.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the last
Okay,
one,
yeah.
so that's going to greatly
Oh,
increase
okay.
our capabilities. So
Okay.
it's quite an interesting. He was explaining the rating system on it. It's quite an interesting rating system, and I can send this around if you guys want to just look at it. He goes right down to what size 2.5 inch. How many 2.5 inch fittings on each truck? Like, that's how particular they are.
Wow.
But anyway. So there's that, and I think that's all I have.
Questions? Thanks, Sean. Whole business. The connectivity grant, main connectivity grant. Tom?
Right, so, the grant,
No, I'm talking to Sean.
the grant, the broadband grant was awarded for Consolidated to do not only Woolwich, but also Alna, Booth Bay, Whitefield, a bunch of towns in Lincoln County that have no service currently. So so I've been in touch with Kristen. She says that the approval that we did at the town meeting in 2023 has expired, so we need to reauthorize the grant matching funds before we can sign the letter of committing the matching funds to Maine Connectivity. So
Is there a timeline?
we're gonna, they need it. We talked to Kendra Jo. She's, we proposed giving us 2 or 3 weeks to get it sorted out. She said that should be fine. But all the paperwork needs to be done by the end of the year. Is that right, Evan?
Yeah.
So we have.
Yeah. So there's 2 different things, right? It's all right.
Yep.
Yeah, the arrangement with the connectivity, my understanding is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know you will, is that there's a Maine Connectivity wants to make sure that we have committed the funds. The payment, the payment arrangement between Consolidated and us is between Consolidated and us, right? And so there's we don't have to, yeah. So
Right.
that gives us
I
some.
was just trying to, I know we were talking earlier about setting the town meeting date to do this. What's our drop dead time on a town meeting? Do we have to do it right off, or could we wait?
Yes, do it right off, please. You did the very last ones yesterday.
Yeah, we've been delivered this exhibit that we need to sign that basically ensures the commitment to the matching funds, and we need to do that as soon as possible, according to both Maine Connectivity and
Right, so my recommendation is, we meet again a week from tonight, right? So is it possible to have a warrant ready for next week? Sign the warrant, have town meeting on September 18th.
September 18th.
It's 2 weeks, that'll be 2 weeks from now, right?
And she was, the Maine Connectivity was okay with that date.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, my mother. She's 90, okay?
Yeah.
It does, Dave, we should,
What's the legal timeframe for a town meeting?
As long as we advertise it, 10 days before the meeting, then we're fine.
right, so theoretically, a week from tonight, we have 14 more days.
Yep.
So if we got advertised the next day or whatever, and Debbie does her thing, and we have a special town meeting here, and we
absolutely.
can find a moderator.
I think we have one.
Can he do both? Can he do both?
You're at 5.
Krista did supply language there. That's on the. I'm passing it around. So that's the language that she proposed. I added the note that sort of describes the context a little
So
bit.
this would mean we'd have fiber
Yeah, it's
in
a fight.
2025.
It's-
Right. So okay. So I invited Simon to come to tonight's meeting to answer questions if they arose. He couldn't come. Evan agreed to come because he probably knows a lot more than Allison and I do. But I did ask Simon by email a couple of questions and got his responses to those questions that I figured the board might be curious about. So I asked him, when did he expect the project construction to begin in Woolwich? And he said he's not going to know for sure until the end of the year. So I take that to mean it's going to start at the beginning of 2025 at the earliest. And is that consistent, Evan, with your
Yep, for the most
information?
part, I've seen them doing some prelim work the
Yeah.
last few weeks, so.
I do know that it's possible for residents to pre-order the service today. So, and that might be why they're doing, I've seen the trucks out too. So.
Yeah, yesterday we were out on the old stage road, and I mentioned to you, there was a Fidium truck that,
Yeah.
running around with a strobe light on, and so Go ahead, Tommy.
So the other question, Jason and I were talking earlier in the week, just to make sure that the expectations of the residents that came to all the workshop that we did about this are the same with this particular grant award as they would have been for the one that we tried last year. And he said, yes, all homes in the town will be connected as long as there's phone service already nearby, which pretty much is every house in town.
Businesses also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked him, the installation is still going to be free installation. It's still going to have the monthly price schedule. That's roughly what they presented to us at the meetings. And so he said it's slightly higher, but not much than back then. And I printed out their latest price sheet, and it's actually cheaper than the slide that I
Say
had.
that too loud.
But anyway, so those were the two questions I asked him. And are there any other questions we have for Consolidated about the nature of the project or whatever?
Does anybody know what final completion would be? Like starting is one
It was
thing.
supposed to be 12 months, but everybody gets an extension.
Yeah, so I mean, realistically, it could-
Probably 18
for a
months.
year and a half or
Yeah.
something to get everybody up.
I would
18
think
months from
Woolwich
now?
being the furthest south might help, but
Oh, yeah, is that what?
This is gonna
We'll
cover
see.
every house in
Every house in town.
So I'd asked Tommy that. My understanding is from you that this is just another round of grants. It's basically exactly what we went through in the spring of
Right.
whatever year, 23, whatever year it was, with all the public meetings and the one at the school and all the folks attended. And it was obviously voted on. The real difference here is our funding was for a limited number of years. In other words, we're basically reapproving the funding.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, since we didn't use the funding for the
Right.
last one. And Kristen spun the warrant article a little bit differently in such a way that we could avoid having to vote on the second payment in the town meeting in May or April, whatever it is.
Yeah.
By saying that we're going to appropriate the full amount for the two payments and put it in a reserve fund and then pay half now and half in the following fiscal year. So
Yeah, I thought
it
that
will
was
save
a
us
good
from
idea.
having to vote on it again.
Right, so realistically, whether the money's January 1st or February 1st or whatever the date is, but they need the commitment.
And connectivity needs the commitment.
Right.
Yeah, that was the money, yeah.
Yeah.
contract's done in December.
Right, so Consolidated has to submit or they have to sign their contract with Maine Connectivity, and we have to have provided this exhibit about the matching funds before that can be consummated.
I just have my reservations about Consolidated.
Based on, what have you heard? I haven't heard.
Oh, it's just, I have a landline phone, and it goes up. It has gone up every month for the last 6 months. The cost of that phone has gone up. I'm now paying $66 a month.
It goes up every month?
Just about $1 or $2 every month. They have a minor increase.
Stop calling your grandkids.
We have the least expensive service we can buy. We can't even make long distance calls on it. We use our cell phone for long distance calls. And my wife insists on having a landline phone. But it just seems like they consolidated. I mean, a year and a half ago, I was paying $42 a month for a phone. Now I'm paying $65 for it. And it just seems like they can't afford to put batteries in their backup systems, right? So every time we have a power outage, you're holding off in loses their phones. Yeah, I just worry about that company.
So I was gonna say, once they have the fiber hooked up, you have the option of buying a voice over internet protocol, so phone service through them for $25 a month, and that should be free worldwide. Call the Antarctica all you want, all day.
That becomes an
And their battery backup, once you're on fiber, it doesn't shut down because it doesn't use electricity the same way cable does, it uses light. So during storms, you shouldn't see as many outages.
Yeah.
Unless the wire,
Maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've just been worried that they had one foot on a banana field and it's
Well, they definitely-
grave,
they've definitely been selling Oldsmobiles for 100 years, and now they're finally selling Ferraris. So, we'll see.
So is information about this something that could go out with magnet letter?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
I
I
don't
think we
know,
should, yeah.
I don't think the magnet letter will go out to tell people about the town meeting, but about, signing up for the service or whatever, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and telling people how, that they can and how to sign up and
And-
what's coming and.
It's really, I
Wait,
mean,
we could, if it's going out next week, we could tell them the special town meeting is
Yes.
yeah, if we can hustle and get it out, yeah.
$6 million of our money from the federal government.
I get a commercial line, supposed to be fixed within 24 hours. I go days without a telephone.
I would move that we, my opinion is, we went through this whole thing. We heard from the people, they voted at the town meeting a year or so ago, over a year ago. And frankly,
The will of the voters.
that's right. So I would like to move that we set a special town meeting date of September 18th at 5 o'clock. And next week, we vote on the warrant for September 4th meeting
I'll second that.
on this item.
Those in favor? Those opposed? Okay. All right, so that's taken care of. Anything else on the old business? Okay, moving on to new business, MMA convention.
Thanks.
The annual MMA convention is October 2nd and 3rd this year. I would like Candace and I to go. Candace,
What day is the week?
it's a Wednesday and a Thursday. We normally shut down for Wednesday because Candace and I attend. I would like to go Thursday as well because they are going to talk about the new family medical leave that we, big and expensive. Giving people, 100 hours. So,
It will help
and
you
they really
too,
haven't talked a
Kim.
lot about it. I'm sorry?
It will help you too, Kim.
Absolutely will.
What day is that, Kim? What's the date?
October
second
2nd
and
and 3rd. It's a Wednesday and Thursday. It's in Augusta. And there's just a lot of information that's very useful as far as they're going to talk about the new tax lien notifications about selling the property on a foreclosure.
Okay.
So that's something that Candace would benefit from. They do a lot of updates with inland fisheries, motor vehicle, dogs, vitals. So it's something that,
So we have
Candace and I can.
yeah.
When do we need to sign up? Because I was kind of curious, I might want to go this year. I'm sure what I got on my calendar.
I think you can, just let me know days before, it's not an issue. We should be fine.
How much
We have a
is it?
select board meeting on the 2nd,
I know.
so should,
Yeah.
Is it expensive? How much is it?
For both days, it's 110.
I think it's worthwhile.
So it's.
Oh, I
it's
do.
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
worthwhile.
I do too. I think it.
Shut down now, you're not gonna have to shut down on Thursday.
No, we normally just shut down on Wednesday and gone, but this Thursday, they have a couple of classes and lectures that I really want to attend. So I will be on those 2
No
days.
problem.
And then whoever else wants to attend, I know Alan used to go every year, so
No,
anybody else wants to attend,
you good.
let me know.
Put all your questions together. You guys are
Let me
good.
know.
yeah.
Are we still okay with the select? I know you won't be here, but can we do the select board meeting on the 2nd?
Mhm.
And then,
I don't think we have anything pressing, right?
no,
I mean, I can still come here.
No,
I don't
no,
want
no,
to,
no,
but
no, no. I
It's
don't
a
think
long
that-
drive.
Where's it at this year?
It's in Augusta,
Yeah, no, I don't know. We can still have a meeting, right?
Yeah,
because we don't have any meetings or
No,
place.
I mean, maybe it's a lighter agenda.
Voting
We
or.
just have to find somebody to take notes.
I know, I see you looking at me, David.
I don't know.
Didn't I
You
say
do,
all
Sean.
we recorded?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's recorded.
Watch the video later.
I can just watch the video. I do not.
Yeah, well, you could.
Yeah, I'd be
You
happy
could.
to.
You can put the agenda together and we'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
That's right. Hopefully,
Yeah.
don't talk a lot. Don't cause any drama.
Speaking of training, that pretty Flaherty employment law
Yeah, I saw that today.
thing, is there any value in any of us signing up for that? It's not cheap, it's like $200, I think.
Yeah,
175.
I kind of looked at it. I wasn't that interested in it.
I mean, it's,
I mean, it's up to you.
I defer to others.
I want to take verbal judo.
I don't think, probably 6 of us don't do it.
Okay, moving on.
Yes, last thing, the benefits. I discussed with a couple of you, maybe all of you, about something that MMA offers. It a basic life insurance benefit, even though you don't have the health insurance, which Candace and I both don't. We opt out of it. So this is a program that we can sign up for, and it is a percentage of your salary. So what it would be for both Candace and I a month is $37.50 a month to get life insurance.
Life insurance, what's the, for how much?
It's a percentage of your salary. So it is, I think I estimated mine at like $22,500.
That's our salary.
Yeah,
You want
right,
coverage, if you want coverage.
right. So, you're saving money because you don't have any health insurance that you're paying except for the 50% Candace and I. And
We save considerably more than $30.
saving a lot more than $37.50 a month.
Right, and we're gonna pay for it with insurance money, so
Absolutely.
we already have
We
funded.
already have it funded.
I would entertain a motion to allow Larry Candace to get that insurance.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that's all I have.
I have one thing, if we have on the new business, what do we wanna do next for the cane?
What's that?
With the cane, I did get the cane back.
Yeah.
And I have a list of the oldest residents, so I just need to go through. I know you had mentioned a couple names.
Oh, no, I just was guessing.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's any oldest
Well,
or not, but the kiss of death, that's what it is. So most people are not for dated.
I'm not that old yet.
Yeah, so, I'll look into it
No rush, I just,
and see.
when you need something from us, we'll figure out how to.
Yeah, I'll
Is that usually awarded at the town meeting?
Not always, I mean, we wouldn't wanna
we'll
wait.
give it to somebody now.
Yeah.
Right, we usually reach out and do a presentation,
Yep.
figure out how they wanna do it.
So, yeah, give me a week.
No,
or so.
I know, it takes time.
Yeah.
Well, do the work.
So, Box and cane, I'll let you guys know who I come up with and who wants to take it, the curse of death.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ask whoever, they want.
Correct, yes. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, I didn't take a motion to adjourn.
Can I just?
Well, I just-
I just saw Tim Forrester walk in.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether you wanted to come this meeting or next meeting, but since you.
5, might start at 6. I thought it was early.
Do you have a comment on that?
All right, well, I'll be sort of quick. So I'm Tim Forrester, I live at 135 River Road. Kind of here on behalf of the folks in the Days Ferry community to talk about the bulkhead and replacement work that can hopefully be accomplished there. So we came to you once before, gave a quick presentation of where it's at, where we'd like to go. You guys authorized us to, well, we did some more homework, and now we're coming back to you and kind of presenting what we found. I got really lucky. I was a presenter at Gulf of Maine Research on some living shoreline work, and I ran into someone there whose specific job is grant research and coastal resiliency type projects, and she's thrilled to help us out with that. So it's Nikki Yannick from Gulf of Maine. So she'll be part of our team, helping us compile information, hopefully apply for a grant and stuff like that. So part of that was we reached out to Zach Stegman and Heather DeMoss, who are with the State Hazard Mitigation Office, and had a meeting with them. I shared with them the status of the structure, the whole history of it, and they were like, wow, this sounds like it can fit right into, there's grant funding that's available now. They have one round that is slated for the beginning of the month. As much as I would love to be ready for that, I don't feel we are. Plus, I need to come here to speak to everyone first. But there are 5 more rounds that are in the very near future. And from my description to them, this is like a shovel-ready project. So they are quite excited about it. It's the basic, unfortunately, I don't have print of it, but it's a hazard mitigation grant program. The short and sweet of it is the 75% match. And then, the time, the expense, all the effort that we're putting towards this is in-kind contribution, so that can be counted towards it. I did get in touch with Reed, spoke with Jack Parker, sent him some plans. He came back with just a back of the napkin kind of estimate for us, basically around 100,000 to completely redo the whole thing. Which, in the size and scope of it, I think that's pretty reasonable. So that's kind of where I'm at. At this point, I would be hopeful if the selectmen could authorize us to continue to work with the grant program on our time to pull an application together and submit it and see where it goes. I don't know that we can do any better than a 75% match. I mean, I thought that was huge.
That's 75%. Like, we pay 25%, they pay 75%.
Yeah.
No, I think that's, me personally, I think that's great.
That's amazing.
Especially if, time and, your time and whatnot is also. can be
Yeah,
applied.
the match in kind, and there's a whole handful of us that are willing to help work on this.
Yeah. Would it be done this? Wouldn't be done this year, or would it?
Ideally, it would be.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I think it's,
I think we'd be foolish not to.
Yeah.
I entertain a motion
yeah,
to authorize them to go forward.
I would
Yeah.
make that motion, I'm so moved.
And then do we have to sign something saying that we're committing to?
I think if I need something, I
Okay.
can probably reach back out to you to get that.
Okay.
But I think for right now, it's just
We can always
having the okay for us to start working on an application
Mhm.
and then probably bring that application back to you and say, this is what we
Yeah.
got, this is what we'd like to submit. There's no obligation, financial
Right, yeah.
obligation to go down that road.
Right.
It's not until we're
Yeah.
actually ready to work, so.
We can always give you a copy of the minutes, when we'll be in our minutes that we authorize
Yep.
you to go forward.
That's great.
So, great.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded, those in favor?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Sure.
Yeah, this is great.
Okay, now, I didn't need a motion to move. Second. You're on.